All right, y'all. So we just finished watching the movie The Sound of Freedom. We're still so emotional. Like, we literally just got out of the theaters. But we encourage everybody to go watch the movie for yourself.
There's a place where you can get free tickets. If you can't afford tickets and you want to see the movie, I believe it's angelstudios.com. You can go and you can get the tickets to see the movie. We're actually going to put the link in our bio, actually.
Yes, we're going to have the link in our bio. If you cannot afford to see the movie, they are giving away the free tickets. And there is also a service where if you can afford to pay it forward, you can also pay it forward for people who cannot afford to see the movie. So you have those two options.
It just opened our eyes to a lot of stuff. I thought slavery was over.
Yeah.
And it's actually at an all-time high, and it's our children. And I feel like we're in a big awakening space, and we all need to see this movie, and we need to figure out how we're going to act on it, because it's sad.
Yes. We wanted to do a story time behind this movie because a couple of days ago, the preview came up on my TikTok feed, on my For You page. I seen it said Angel Studios, and I'm like, okay, you know, normally we see Columbia Pictures or Lionsgate. We know for the most part all these studios that make movies. So I seen Angel Studios, and I'm like, okay, Sound of Freedom. Then I start watching the preview, and I seen that it was about human trafficking, the children. And I'm like, wow. So I showed Nova, and I'm like, babe, I really want to see this movie. The night after that, I seen the guy who actually made the movie. He actually made this movie 5 years ago, and he wasn't able to get it cleared by anybody. Nobody would pick up the movie. He prayed every day to God that God will help him get this movie out to the public. And he finally got a call from Angel Studios saying that they would pick up the movie from him. I don't think that's any coincidence that the name of the studio is Angel Studios, and it's having such a big movement right now on TikTok and all around the world for people that are watching the movie and wanting to help and act on what they're seeing with the movie. I seen his story, and that made me more emotional. And then last night at 2:30 in the morning, me and Nova was scrolling on Instagram, and it popped up on my news feed that you can actually get the tickets for free, or you can pay it forward to come and see the movie. So we ended up signing up for it, and we came to watch it today. And it was so worth it, y'all. If you have a chance, I'm gonna insert some clips in this video as well, so that you guys can see like the special message they had, and you know, it's based on a true story, and then the facts that they had at the end of the movie, I'm gonna insert that as well. But yes, y'all, The Sound of Freedom, make sure you guys check it out. Hopefully we can influence you to go watch the movie, and you can influence someone else to watch the movie, and together we can figure out what it is that we need to do to make a small difference, you know.
Largest consumer in America.
Did you know there were over 22 million new images of child pornography on the web this past year? That's a 5,000% increase over the past 5 years. 5,000%. The fact is, it is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade. You want to know why? Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time, but a child, the most precious child, you can sell a 5-year-old kid 5 to 10 times a day for 10 years straight. And everyday ordinary people, they don't want to hear it. It's too ugly for polite conversation. But meanwhile, over 2 million children a year are being sucked into the deepest recesses of hell. Trust me, man. If we do nothing, their pain is gonna spread and spread. Till someday it's gonna reach the likes of you. And that will be a nightmare that you're never gonna wake up from.
I want to thank you all for coming out
and watching this movie. I'm guessing some of you are feeling sad, maybe overwhelmed, or even a sense of fear, which is understandable. But living in fear isn't how we solve this problem. It's living in hope. It's believing that we can make a difference because we can. But I want to make one thing clear. This movie you just watched isn't about me or Tim Ballard. It's about those kids. You know, Steve Jobs once said, the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. Abraham Lincoln credited Harriet Stowe when she wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. This powerful story inspired millions to rise up and fight against slavery. I think we can make Sound of Freedom the Uncle Tom's Cabin of 21st century slavery. This film was actually made 5 years ago. It wasn't released till now, with every roadblock that you can imagine being tossed in the way. And the names you see here on the screen took a stand, and they made sure this story could be shown to all of you. And now all of you have the opportunity to continue telling this story. We don't have big studio money to market this movie, but we have you, and the baton has now been passed to you. You are the storytellers that can get people to come see this film in theaters. When you come to a theater, you experience movies differently. There is no pause button, there are no distractions. We all have an experience as we watch the film together as a community. It makes it possible for strong messages like this one to take root. Sound of Freedom is a hero's tale, but I'm not talking about the character I play. It's the heroic brother and sister in this film that work to save each other. They are the true heroes. The most powerful person in this world is the storyteller. Together, we have a chance to make these two kids and the countless children that they represent the most powerful people in the world by telling their story in a way only the cinema can do. For a couple of months, while Sound of Freedom is in theaters, these kids can be more powerful than the cartel kingpins or presidents or congressmen or even tech billionaires. We believe this movie has the power to be a huge step forward toward ending child trafficking, but it will only have that effect if millions of people see it. Now, I know it's weird because we're in a theater, but feel free to pull out your phones and scan this QR code. We don't want finances to be the reason someone doesn't see this movie, so Angel Studios boldly has set up a Pay It Forward program where you can pay for someone else's ticket who might not otherwise see it. If you're able, we invite you to pay it forward by buying a ticket for someone else, or if your budget is tight, share the already available free tickets with as many friends as you can, or do both. Join us and millions of others as we ring Sound of Freedom and hope throughout the world. And just remember this, God's children are not for sale. Thank you.